Here's another situation that calls for a little more thought to go into your shot selection. Situation is this. The hole's about 360 feet, basket to the right side, low ceiling. Ken, what do you do?
Well, to avoid the low ceiling, I like to do what we call a roller. We roll the disc on the ground, let it hit on its edge, maybe about 11 o'clock, so it runs out maybe 100, 150 feet on the left angle, turns up to flat, gets to about 12 o'clock, and then finishes hard to the right, finishing 1, 2, 3 o'clock angle, and finally spinning out and landing on its top.
So you like the roller. Brad, would you take that as well or go with something else?
Definitely follow Ken's lead here. It's a roller shot. The ceiling's too low, and to get your disc to go that far and then do an abrupt turn to the right, virtually impossible.
Brad, what are the risks involved with the roller?
Well, in this situation, there's a little uneven terrain that where you'll be landing your disc. So you subject yourself to the possible funky kick, which could, give you a bad result. But usually when you throw a shot of this nature, you throw it pretty hard, so when it hits, it's got to be unfortunate to get that bad of a kick.
You guys going to show us how this works?
Sure.
Sure.
All right. Ken, before you rip it, give us a little slow-mo and show us how the mechanics of the shot works.
All right. When you set up for a good roller, you want to make sure your back is kind of tilted back this way a little bit, so when you go to throw, you can come over on the disc, get over top of the disc, pull down. You really want to pull down at the end of the shot to make sure that you're getting that down forward force, getting your disc to stand up. If you don't get enough of that on there, it won't stand up enough, and it'll cut roll way to the left. That's why we like to really pull down on them. Something like this.
Okay.
Looking good.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
making that happen.
Nice
All
shot,
right.
champ.
Brad, do you do it the exact same way, you think?
Pretty much. I think Ken threw a less stable disc, and I have somehow my rollers disappeared this morning, so I'm going to throw a more stable disc. And what you have to do with this is, as Ken said, get a good lean backwards because it's a stable disc, and in order to get it over really solidly, you want to be in the right position to give yourself a clean tug downward. You really have to get this one over, or it'll really start to the left.
Now, you say that you don't have your roller disc. What makes a good roller disc?
Generally, just a driver disc that's a long flyer that after a certain amount of use, hits a couple, 2 or 3 trees too many, that it gets beat up and wants to flip over, so it makes it not so difficult to get it going and on the line that you want. Where this is a new disc, it's kind of an advanced move where you've thrown enough rollers and you know that if you just gas it up with pretty much all you got, that you can get it over.
So essentially, you prefer an understable disc for a roller.
Absolutely.
Okay, show us what you can do with the more stable disc.
I'll try and get it over. I can see, Ken, yours was a little understable, wasn't it?
Just a little bit, yes.
Okay.
As well, you have to set those down a little bit early when they're a little more overstable. The less stable ones you can let fly out a little farther.
Yeah, I left her outside a little bit, but it's pinned high and that'll give me a putt. I overcompensated a bit and flipped it because it was so stable. I ordinarily don't roll with those, but I got a putt at it from about 30, 40 feet.
So what are the things we need to think about when we're considering a roller? What are the dangers?
The dangers. Well, as we said before, the stuff on the ground, you can sometimes, but rarely, get a bad kick. It's one of the chances you take with a roller. But they're very useful, very purposeful in a lot of situations where you're trying to get to the right and it's low ceiling and whatnot.
What else do you like about the roller, Ken?
I like it because if you have a very short grass, you can go an extra long distance with the roller and maybe farther than you could throw it in the air. Taking gravity out of play a little bit and using the spin.
I think we found something you guys can actually agree on.
For once in our lives.